I don't know. Tomorrow's another day. I can't imagine what the newspapers are going to say. I always think about that. Yeah. They always surprise me. How they come up with this stuff is just amazing. Yeah. And you read them. You read them on my Twitter, or you read them in the store, but you read them. And I don't know what they are in other states. That's why you got to read my Twitter, because I don't know if they work the way. They probably work the same way in other states, but I really haven't been to one of the states to know. And as far as like if you're trying to reference anything I'm saying, I'm not going to reference an Ohio or Illinois newspaper. So it's better off to stick with the Twitter or X account. But I don't know. Just calm down. I'm laying here right now. This might be one of the most boring videos I put out. And I'm sorry if I moved the camera around a lot. It's just, I had to put scabies cream all over my body. I'm naked right now because I had to put it all over my body. And the second time, I did it last Tuesday, and I did it this time. Because when I lived in that community resident, you see on my videos, the first few videos I put out, I lived in a community resident, and apparently I got it there. But I don't know, I could have got it from my mother and her little crew. They could have put it in my bed or put it somewhere I can get it. Just to annoy me, because scabies is very annoying. It makes it very itchy, and that's why you see me scratching myself like crazy, because I have scabies. But, the guy who slept in my bed in the community resident died. And I don't know if he died from liver cancer or he died from kidney cancer, but he died from one or the other. I think it was kidneys, because I think he was going for dialysis. I didn't meet him. I never knew him. But I took his bed after he died, and I don't think they replaced it. So it was great after I found that out. And anyhow, he laid in the bed for a long time. I'm sure because of his health problems. He didn't take showers every day. He didn't take care of himself too well, And those community residents, that's really a horrible place to die, because nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn. Like I said, he died and they filled the bed with me, like a month later, I was like, gotta get that rent. They don't care. They don't care. And that's the man's world, and that's what I'm trying to point out, It's just, the female's world, I don't think it's going to be like that. I think caring is going to be top of the list, and I know that, a lot of women, are jaded, or they've been manipulated, they've been trained to think like a man, kind of thing, and they wear pants. Some girls never wear a dress. They don't even own a dress, and stuff like that. They've been unwomanized. I'm looking for a word. Unwomanized. It's like they're not a man, but they're not a woman. It's like they're in limbo, kind of thing. And I think as the women take over, I think women need to grab those unwomanized women and bring them into women. And sure, they can stay unwomanized. They can do whatever they want. And it's this free world that we're going to have. But help them feel comfortable wearing a dress, and help them feel comfortable feeling like a woman, And I don't know if you want to keep the makeup thing going, but I don't think you have to. But if you want to, I'm not going to say no. Estee Lauder's not going to say no either. But, it's just... It's too soon to come up with changes. I mean, people are still in shock at what happened. They're just utterly in shock. They don't know what happened. they're in disbelief. They haven't accepted that what has happened. They're in denial. They're in the denial stage. They're not in the acceptance stage. They're going to go from the denial to the anger stage. They're balancing between denial and anger. They go in and out. The finger I got today was the point of that. But things are happening, and it's never happened before. You can't go watch a movie and see how it turns out. You can't go read a book and see how it turns out. This has never been done before. It's not in the Bible, and we have a seed and we have no idea what the plant looks like. What that seed's going to turn into. It can turn into a redwood, it can turn into a rose, it can turn into a pine tree, it can turn into anything, a tulip. We have no idea what this seed that I created and unleashed on the world is going to turn out to. But there is one thing I can promise you. I can promise you all that the seed and what it produces is going to be magnificent. It's going to be beautiful, like a rose, like a redwood. It's not going to be a weed. It's going to be beautiful. And you're going to want more and more and more and more of it. And you're never going to want to kill it. You're never going to want to kill it. So, that's the goal. I know I say that a lot, but I'm kind of building here. You can't build without having a goal. Nobody builds a house without having an idea of what they want it to look like before they start building it. If they do, it doesn't turn out too well. See, the devil shut me up. Every time I say something,